Good stuff. Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you? Good. Justin was just saying, he was like, they're heading to Ottawa this weekend. He was like, I got two private baby in
My
school.
hair is as
So.
good as
Perfect.
Yeah, it was good. They're so good to me out there. I'm like, I spoke to the custodian. I'm like, okay, it's not me,
Just in
but
case you're
treat
wondering.
them right. And he's like, okay, got
I'm
it. I
right
said, just
beside
make
you.
sure nothing's gonna happen. So
What?
it was all good. Pretty good.
Oh my god.
Not their usage, but oh my god,
Great.
it's
Great.
good.
And everything else is good?
Great. What about you?
Very good, thank you.
Yes. Back in the swing of it after January. Feels like it was the longest month.
Yeah, but like but still very surprised that it's February. You know, like January felt a little long, and now like what is
All right.
I can hear you.
A little testing here. We don't have our technical expert Lynn on the microphones. We're not sure if this is working, but we'll give it a shot. All right, so we're back. I'm Max, and I'm joined with Bess, and we're here in a great Friday night matchup between Capital Courts and the Vaughan Voyageurs.
Can't wait, Max. We saw the last game we did together was Capital Courts when we were in Ottawa. I have yet to see Vaughan play this season, but we know currently they have not won a game. However, their last game was lost only by 9 points, so I think we can definitely see improvement and looking for a good competition this evening.
All right, and starting for Capital Courts, we have Jolie Kerr, Zeba, Russell, Emerson, and Godet. Just waiting on the hometown Voyageurs to break from their huddle.
Absolutely, and if we're looking at the rosters, we see that Vaughan does have a much deeper roster than Capital Courts, so we'll see if that plays into this. We'll see if that plays into the matchup this evening.
All right, and then here comes the Voyageurs. We have Walters, Hilton, Wahid Warham, Francis, and Brown. Here's a tip, and it goes to Vaughan.
Vaughan controls, and we'll see who can get into the rhythm of the game first. Last couple of games that we were a part of, it was a little bit back and forth at the beginning, a lot of turnovers, but a sloppy play, so we'll see who can get into it here early.
Ooh, and then Russell goes to try and pick off that pass there up top from Brown. She's going to be called for the foul, her first. That's something to watch here as one of the main contributors for this Capital Courts squad.
Yes, absolutely. Great. As a coach, you love to see our players being aggressive early and getting into it, but you also have to play smart. And something we talk about a lot, playing hard and smart.
Francis right inside the three-point line, gets it to the pull-up jumper she likes so much, but unable to convert. Here comes Russell the other way. Finds Zeba open for the right wing three. A little bit off, but Godet with the follow. Just off. Jolie Kerr a follow. That's off. Zeba a follow, and it's good.
Fourth time lucky. I think that's what they always say. Great pursuit by Capital Courts. Vaughan is really going to want to box out and not give those second, third, and fourth chances.
It's definitely something to watch if you're Vaughan. Got to clean that up. You can't have 4 chances every time because eventually they're going to hit. But right back the other way, Wahid Warham answers, and she buries a 3 of her own.
Absolutely. So we've seen 2 opportunities from the three-point line early here. Good take by Zeba. It's a turnover, though. Vaughan coming the other way.
Vaughan looking to push again. Francis gets a little hesitation going and finishes with the left.
That was really great control, Max, by Francis, the shortest player on the court, but getting right in there, using her ball handling skills to get to the rim.
Zeba goes to the step back, going to be tied up there by Wahid Warham. She's going to be called for the travel. It's going to go back to Vaughan.
Great defense. Doesn't jump so that the player has the opportunity to get a foul call, but is right in front and makes Zeba have the up and down.
With the travel call, we're going to have Newman checking in for Zeba here for Capital Courts.
So an early lead here for Vaughan.
Hilton skips it over to Francis. There's Walters coming up for the screen. They kick it out, find Brown in the corner. That spot she loves, and she finishes again. 8-2 lead here for Vaughan early on.
And getting a diversity of looks. Something is really good for them. I'm sure Coach will be feeling positive about this start to the game.
Jolie Kerr from the top tries to answer with a 3 of her own, unable to convert. Hilton comes down with it. The leak out to Walters, and she's able to hit for 2. 10-2 now for the Voyageurs.
Absolutely, and then that last possession by Capital Courts, and all the possessions, we haven't really seen a lot of ball movement. It's kind of been one-on-one and not getting great looks.
Hilton comes up with a steal, goes right for her own, unable to convert, but a great look again for Vaughan. Russell's going to slow it down for Capital Courts. Russell gets right in the lane, gets through a little floater, unable to hit. The fight for the rebound, Godet comes up with it. Newman's able to get it up back at the top.
Not sure why there wasn't a reset on the shot clock, but it's a turnover there.
The pass to Jolie
going
Kerr,
the other way.
mishandled. Here's Brown. Long step. She's going to be tied up by Emerson. Great defense there.
Excellent. Getting the stop without picking up a foul.
Right back the other way. Francis tried to pick up a charge. Unable to do so, but great defense again. She's going to tie up Newman. It's going to be jump ball going Capital Court's way.
We're in the very early stages of this game, and I think the Capital Courts just needs to take a breath, get into something on offense, not try and hurry things so much or do it so much individually, but work together as a team to get good looks.
Great inbounds, finds Russell with the size mismatch on the block. Unable to convert both chances, though. Walters is able to bring it down for Vaughan.
And then I guess the next part of that, Max, is when you do get those good looks, finish.
Yep, exactly. Vaughan able to handle that pressure pretty well. Swing it up top. Here's Francis looking for that Walters screen. A deep three. It's off. It's going to be Capital Court's ball.
Vaughan with a little bit of pressure here early. And still has that 10-2 lead.
Newman in the corner looking to drive on Wahid Warham. Kicks over. They find Russell, the left wing three. Rattles out. Godet's able to pick up another offensive rebound, though. Emerson's able to bank one in of her own.
The bank still counts. Three's good. Lead is now 10-5 for Vaughan. And that's Vaughan's playing really well, and they're, putting Capital Courts in positions, making them take tough shots, but they have to secure those rebounds or else if there's too many opportunities, Capital Courts is going to put one in, as they just did.
Great, here's that Francis Walters screen. We've seen so much of this first half. The long two from Walters, no good. But then Vaughan fighting for the O boards of their own. Wahid Warham's able to come up with it.
That's great hustle, great hustle.
Oh, great defense there by Newman up top. Ties up Francis. They find Hilton in the corner. Her three just rattles out. Steenbaker's able to come up with it. Great outlet by Russell. Finds Emerson streaking. Here's Godet in the key. Unable to convert. Hilton comes down with it. She's looking to push.
We've got some subs here coming in for Capital Courts. Very high intensity here early. Not a lot of made shots.
Oh, got a little bit too speedy for the Vaughan team there. It's just going to go off of them, so it will be Capital Courts ball. With that, we do have a Capital Courts timeout. So with 5:24 remaining here in the first, we have a 10-5 Voyageur lead. Yeah. All right, and coming back in for Vaughan, we have number 30, Hall, checking in first time. And for Capital Courts, we have McPhee and Ziba both checking in after the timeout.
Some good ball movement by Capital Courts there to break the press. See if they
Godet.
can continue to move the ball in their offense and get good looks.
Good look there for Ziba, unable to convert. Vaughan again looking to push, but cut off there by McPhee up top. They find Walters in the block, a size mismatch, able to get right around Newman, able to finish for two.
It's a really nice finish in the paint. Really soft touch there. Good play by Vaughan.
Capital Courts swinging up top. The pressure defense, though, it's going to cause the foul there by Francis up top for Vaughan. It's going to be her first of the game.
And we can hear Coach Fabian talking to her team here, just telling them to slow it down, playing a little bit fast right now, a little bit faster than they want to. So hopefully they can get into some good action here.
And we do have Hamilton checking in for Vaughan. So subs both ways with Russell and Hamilton coming in for either squad. We're just going to reset the clock. It is 4:47 here, 12-5 lead for Vaughan. Capital Courts inbounds right to Newman, gets to her left hand, unable to convert, but Steenbikers is able to finish for two.
Good left finish. Good rebound, converting on the inside. Capital Courts have had a couple missed layups here early, a number of missed layups here early. So again, that's just another part of slowing down, taking your time on the finish.
Wahid Warham gets right into the key, gets to a floater of her own, and she's able to convert. In our past games of Vaughan, we have noted she is someone to watch as she can get hot in a hurry and really fill it up. Capital Court swinging around. Here's Russ from the baseline, unable to hit. Vaughan comes down with it.
Vaughan early on being the aggressor on both offense and defense, really taking it to the rim, and then on defense getting up on Capital Courts, whether that's in the full court or in half court defense.
Here's Francis with the high screen. Walters looking for it. The skip over to Hamilton. Here's Wahid Warham. Hamilton the three, just short. Good box out there, and McPhee's able to clean it up for Capital Courts. Here's Russell, the corner three this time. Too strong. The fight for the rebound. It's going to go off of Capital Courts. Vaughan ball.
Vaughan ball. Got 3 subs here coming in for Capital Courts.
And 2 on the Vaughan side. So big line switches early on for both squads, trying to rotate bodies in.
And I think for Vaughan to keep up that intensity, and then for Capital Courts to find combinations that are going to work here. Still have 14-7 lead for Vaughan early.
So here's some token pressure here from Capital Courts. Hilton's able to bring it up, though. Guarded by Godet at the top. Swung up top, is stolen away by Ziba. She's looking to push. Little mishandle, though, and she's going to be tied up there by Hall. It's going to be jump ball going to Vaughan.
And great defense and patience there. Vaughan's keeping her in front, even though there's a fast break opportunity, then getting that tie up and the ball.
Inbound. Here is Francis working on Emerson. Great defense by Emerson, able to get away with it. Here's Godet coming the other way. Gets right to her finger rolls, able to finish plus the foul.
And one good defense leading to a really great transition opportunity for Capital Courts. And despite the difficulties that they've been having in this first quarter, Max, if Godet converts here, it'll just be a 4-point lead for Vaughan.
And Godet able to convert the and one. So it is now a 14-10 lead here for Vaughan. So Capital Courts chipping the way right back into this one.
And once you've had a bit of scattered start to the game, if you're able to see the ball go through the net a couple of times and slow things down, get to the foul line, that can really get you right back into things. Good defensive stops like that led to that turnover, also very helpful.
Vaughan swings it around. Francis looks to drive. She finds Aruba at the free throw line, but stolen away by Godet. Here's Capital Courts coming the other, right back down against Vaughan. Russ gets to her spin move. It's no good. Fighting for the rebound. Bodies everywhere. Vaughan comes up with it. Here comes Hilton.
Good hustle by both teams.
Great pass.
Oh.
Hilton to Brown, and she's able to finish for 2.
Excellent. That was really nice. Being aware of where your teammates are on the floor, looking for the pass, keeping your eyes up, so important.
Here's Emerson looking for Jolie Kerr on the roll. Nothing there. She finds Russell up top. Her 3, and it's good. First basket for Russell. We'll see if that can get her going.
And that is somebody that Vaughan wants to stay quiet for this game. But Russell watching that 3 go in, gaining some confidence from that.
Francis unable to hit the pull-up in transition, but Aruba fighting for the rebound. Francis now getting to her right hand. It's going to be blocked out of bounds by Godet, but it will remain with Vaughan. With that, we have Walters checking right back in, along with Gokul Jefferson. So 8 on the shot clock. Let's see what Coach Vaughan has drawn up. It's going to be a kickball there by Jolie Kerr, denying the pass to Walters. It's going to be 14 on the shot clock now. They swing it up. Here's a deep 3 by Wahid Warham, just off. Godet comes down with it.
with Capital Courts there, as we watch Russell bringing up the floor, they have such an advantage to have a big who has that kind of handle and vision and can create in the full court like she can.
Great pass there, but just mishandled by Jolie Curran at the other end, so it came down back to Vaughan. Here's Brown, the right wing three, just short. The fight for the rebound. Godet is there again, filling up the stat sheet early.
Absolutely. She's getting it done on both ends of the court here.
Another great pass by Russell in transition. This one to Emerson. Her shot's going to be blocked out of bounds, so it's going to remain with Capital Courts. A little trickery there off the defender's back to herself and able to finish with the layup. Godet, a little fancy on us.
A little fancy. I wasn't even sure what was going on.
And us all confused
Blocked by the
here.
ref, yeah. And that results in 2 points, and now it's just a 1 point lead for Vaughan here, coming to the end of the first quarter.
A little miscommunication there between Walters and Hilton's going to go out of bounds. Capital Courts ball, so a chance to take the lead here. A minute left in the first. Let's see if they can capitalize. Russell at the top, gets a step back jumper this time. Just off, Walters able to clean it up. Godet in there fighting for the board there. She's going to be called for the foul. It will go Vaughan's way.
It's a pretty impressive crossover and step back by Russell there. Vaughan ball, 47 seconds left in the opening quarter. Capital Courts just showing full court pressure, but not actually putting any actual or substantive pressure on the ball there.
Hilton gets in the lane. They swing up top. Down to 7 now on the shot clock. Wahid Warren up top working against Russell. Russell able to tip it away though. Here comes the 3-on-1. Zeba, Russell, and Godet. Nice touch pass right back to Zeba, and she's able to finish for 2.
Excellent teamwork there by Capital Courts. And they've really looked like they've tightened up their defense in the half court here in the second part of this first quarter.
They find an open Gakul Jefferson, unable to hit the 3. The fight for the rebound. Walters can't come up with it. And there we do have the end of the first. With the end of the first, we do have Capital Courts 17, Vaughan Voyageurs 16. All right, sorry. Whew, stumbling today. It's been a long week, guys. So to start the second for Capital Courts, we have Jolie Kerr, Emerson, McPhee, Godet, and Zeba. To start the quarter for Vaughan, we have Wahid Warham, Hall, Brown, Francis, and Hamilton.
Great play by Capital Courts to start the quarter, Max. And as we were talking about in the beginning, it looked like their offense was really stagnant, kind of doing a lot, going one-on-one a lot, and not getting good ball movement or making the defense react. different team in the end of the first quarter, and obviously in the start of the second here.
Wahid Warham gets to that pull-up jumper, unable to hit, though. Ziba comes down with it for Capital Courts. Great trap there by Vaughan, but a good pass by Ziba to get out of it. Julie Kerr pass to Godet in the corner. She's unable to hit. Francis looking to push for Vaughan. Gets right around the defender, unable to hit the finger roll, but the fight for the rebound. It's going to go off of Hamilton, and it's going to go Capital Courts way. That is something we have seen, though, from Vaughan in this game and in past games. The smaller guards love to get that rebound and push and just get right by the defense. So Capital Courts has got to get back if they're going to try and stop the Vaughan attack in transition. Emerson, a great pass to Jolie Kerr with the size mismatch down low, and she's able to hit another 2. Quick 4 points for her to start the second.
Definitely getting that inside and exploiting the size mismatch early.
This time Wahid Warham gets right to her right hand and is able to finish for 2.
And conversely, on the other end of the floor, exploiting the quickness mismatch from the foul line there.
Looks like Vaughan's a little bit confused here on defense with some in man, some in zone. Able to tie up on the back end, though, but Hall's pass is picked off by Ziba. A little pull-up jumper in the lane, and she's able to hit for 2 more.
It's good hustle by both teams, but Vaughan really has to secure those defensive rebounds, continuing to be a problem in this quarter.
Here's Brown's pass to Hamilton. Is tipped there by Emerson. They get Emerson out in transition, gets her spin move blocked there by Brown. Hamilton comes down with it.
And Capital Courts defense that led to that turnover. Vaughan has been running a lot of pick and roll, so I'm sure that's something they talked about in the break for the quarter, how they want to defend that, and they were effective in that instance there.
Getting low in the shot clock, Francis kicks it over to Hamilton. Looking to drive on Godet. A contested jumper there, just off. Jolie Kerr comes down with it for Capital Courts.
And that's great. And then that screen and roll there, they're just able to switch. Godet's in front, keeps her man in front, and a pretty easy defensive stop.
Godet's pass for Newman in the corner is mishandled. It's going to go out of bounds off Capital Courts, so it's going to go Vaughan basketball way. 3 subs here for, that was for McPhee, as we have Newman, Steenbackers, and Russell all checking in for Capital Courts. Here's Brown working off the Hamilton screen. Trapped in the corner. It's going to be tipped by Russell. Fancy dribbling by Russell in the full court. She's going to be fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
Her ball control in the full court at speed is very, very impressive. It's one thing to be able to handle the basketball. It's quite another to be able to handle it when you're going full speed with defense on, looking to finish. She's got that skill set.
Yeah, she's got it. And she's shown a lot to us this year as one of the premier scorers in the OSBA. So far, Vaughan's done a pretty good job holding her to 3 points. Looking to get her 4th here from the line, but 3 points in the first quarter. If you're Vaughan, you've got to be happy with that.
Yes, definitely. Especially, I think the last game that we did, she was averaging in the sort of mid-20s in points.
Yep.
By our calculations, I'm sure. Very exact. But no, she had, a top scorer in the league and had been very, very impressive in the number of games leading up to the game that we saw her in December.
Wahid Warham tied up before she could get to the rim. It's going to be a little bit off. Capital Courts comes down with it. They're pushing the other way. Try and exploit the mismatch in the key. It's going to be called 3 in the key by Newman before they could get her the ball, so it's going to go back to Vaughan.
And in that case, Newman did have a great mismatch, but you also just have to recognize sort of time and space. If you're in the key for more than 3 seconds, it doesn't matter what your mismatch is.
Hilton's pass for Walters is picked off by Russell all the way herself, unable to hit the layup. Steenbackers is right there, though, for the follow.
Ziba goes for the steal, misses. No real numbers, though, for Vaughan.
Here's Hilton on the left wing. Gets the screen. Great pass. Francis finds Hall open for 3. Just too strong. Rattles out, but Francis is able to clean up the rebound.
It's a good look
gets around her defender, finds open Walter. She's unable to hit, though. Another offensive rebound for Vaughan. So much like Capital Courts in the first quarter, we now see Vaughan attacking the offensive glass, getting multiple chances at the basket. We'll see if they're going to be able to convert, and that pass is going to be tipped by Russell, but then off of Walters, it's going to go over to Capital Courts.
And again, we've got good effort by both teams. Have to just secure that basketball. And Russell is gambling a lot defensively, so she's been very effective so far. But we'll see if Vaughan kind of, can take advantage of that a little bit. And while we've been talking here, it's gone up to an 8-point lead for Capital Court. So they are at a 1-point differential at the quarter time, and now up to an 8-point lead.
Yeah, so an early 9-2 run here for Capital Courts. They exploited the Jolie Kerr mismatch early. She's now off. Lately, they've been getting lots in transition off of either steals or leakouts off the defensive glass. So we'll see if Vaughan can clean that up a bit. And Vaughan on the offensive end, they're trying to find Walters, but there's been a lot of help from Capital Courts trying to not let the ball get inbounded there. Where are you going to go if you're Vaughan?
Their outside shooting has not been excellent so far, so that's a bit of a challenge. I just think they need to get Capital Courts moving more defensively. They're relying a ton on that screen and roll and not getting a lot out of it, so look to get pass, cut. Their best was when they were driving to the basket and feeding to open players. So hopefully they can get some of that movement back. And as we just talked about, Capital Courts will gamble defensively, so trying to take advantage of that. And then they showed some signs of rebounding offensively well, so it's just a matter of converting on those second, third chances.
Yeah, and they're still right in it, only down 8, 5:53 left. We did see last game we were here with Vaughan against Caledon. They were able to get down to this amount and then fight back in with their offensive run, so we'll see if they can turn it on late in the quarter and go into the halftime on a little momentum swing, but right out of the timeout, Capital Courts is able to break through the pressure, get an open look for GOTW. She gets right to the rim and is fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
And something that we've talked a lot about when doing these games is just consistency. There will always be runs. It doesn't matter what level you're playing at, but trying to contain those as much as possible and also keeping your focus. If you're Vaughan, and especially now that you've gone down those kinds of mistakes where you're not sure where the ball is or where your man is, those are things you really need to clean up.
Right back the other way, trying to give Capital Courts a little taste of their own. Hilton gets right to the rim in transition, unable to hit. Clean up the offensive rebound, though. Her 3 from the corners then off. Again, the offensive rebound, and it's going to be a foul by GOTW fighting for the ball.
So great job getting after the offensive rebounds again, and we'll see if they can, if Vaughan can convert here.
Tries the inbound to the back cut there by Jakul Jefferson. It's going to be kicked off by Emerson. They find Russell on the wing. She's going to, a little jumpy with the feet. It's going to get called for the travel before the attack, so it's going to go back to Vaughan.
Both ways on the travel, please.
We have subs both ways. So for Vaughan, we have Aruda checking in and Ziba for Capital Courts. There's Francis to bring it up for Vaughan.
And Francis has been working this game, Max. Primary ball handler for Vaughan. She's been guarded closely. She's responsible for getting them into their offense, for creating. So it'll be interesting to see how she holds up through 4 quarters, having a lot of minutes early.
It's going to be an offensive foul there on Aruda with the illegal screen. So just not set before Francis went off her. So good defense there by Emerson, able to cause that foul. We have Brown checking in for Hilton there with that foul. Last game we did see Brown hit a bunch of threes in the second, so we'll see if they go back to try and get some outside shooting from her, as that has been missing here from Vaughan. And Russell gets right into the lane, is able to finish, plus the foul. She'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
Very strong finish. That was difficult. Went to the ground. She was able to convert. Not only talked about the great ball handling, but also the burst of speed. She just really turns it on, gets to the rim, elevates well. Very, very difficult to guard because she also has that outside shot.
And able to finish this 3-point play. So that's now a 30-18 lead for Capital Quartz. 5 minutes here remaining in the second. And that's Brown, the outside jumper we talked about. Russell comes down with it though and pushing the other way. Ziba tries to do a step around, but great defense by Francis, able to pick up the charge. It's going to go back to Vaughan.
And Francis is fired up, calling it out her teammates. Let's go. Talked about her doing it on the offensive end of the floor. She's obviously also putting in the work on the defensive end of the floor. Encourage her teammates to come along with her.
Francis able to get around Emerson that time, but the help by Russell able to cause the miss. Russell pushing in transition, gets the left hand back to the right over the defender. 2 more, Marissa Russell.
Oh my goodness, man. So how do you defend that? She's coming at you full speed in transition, can finish both hands, going both ways. Very impressive.
Great pass there by Francis to find the cutting Aruda. Capital Quartz able to clean up the miss though, and here's Emerson. A little behind the basket. Finds Newman tied up there by Aruda though, and she's going to push the other way for Vaughan.
See if Vaughan can get into some offense here and get something out of it. Looks like they're going to go back to that screen and roll.
Here's Hall. Fine.
And I think the read there is not with Hall. I mean, I know it's difficult, but you have both players sinking. If Hall's able to take that outside jumper looking for her own shot, I think is the right thing to do there.
Yeah, great. And then Russell tries to get the pass. It's deflected right back to her. She then kicks it over to Jolie Kerr, who's able to finish for 2 more, right on the doorstep.
Ooh. Almost a turnover there. Emerson coming in. Vaughan controls.
There's Francis against Ziba right in front of us here. Capital Quartz benches into it. Here's Hall against Russell. Her pass tried to be tipped off by Emerson. Late in the shot clock, floater by Brown is off. It's going to be tipped off Jolie Kerr, remaining with Vaughan.
Another opportunity here on Capital Quartz. Really, they're digging in with their defense. Francis, as we talked about, primary ball handler, really forcing her right or to the sideline when she's trying to get into and initiate offense from the screen and roll. So they're doing a great job there, limiting that opportunity.
Here's Brown up top. Here's Hall driving. Ooh, gets a long. Unable to go. Aruda, the follow, though, just off. Jolie Kerr comes down with it. The fight for the rebound. And it's going to be a foul on Vaughan, going Capital Quartz way.
A little bit of frustration maybe by Vaughan there on that. One thing if you have a legitimate chance of getting the offensive rebound, it's another thing to reach when somebody else has possession. So just needing to reset, refocus, because now it looks like
that will be the
Quartz
5th
beyond the
foul
line.
on Vaughan. Yep, so that's going to be 2 foul shots here for Jolie Kerr. So an unfortunate one, as we have talked about in the past, with 90 feet away. She didn't have a real chance at the ball. Gives Capital Quartz a chance to slow the game down, see the ball go through, and just tack on to their lead.
Capital Quartz has this lead, Max. Playing well, looking more comfortable. A little bit still sloppy play, though. We've seen them miss quite a number of foul shots and also quite a number of layups. They've been able to get those rebounds just because of size mismatches, but in a in a closer game, those kinds of things are going to be really important, and we'll see how things progress if Vaughan makes it back into this game and they're not that far out of it. Those sorts of things need to be tightened up.
The shot for Wahid Warham is no good. The follow by Aruda. She's going to be called for the travel there after the tie-up by Jolie Kerr. It's going to go back to Capital Quartz. Here's Godet looking to drive against Wahid Warham. They swing it. Here's Emerson, the wing 3, just off. Ziba's able to follow that up. Jolie Kerr, the long jumper, too strong. Wahid Warham, great box out's able to pull down the rebound.
Good push, Francis leading the break.
Here's that wing ball screen they like so much. Francis able to kick out. Wahid Warham for 3, too short. McPhee comes down with it for Capital Courts. There's that leak out, and Emerson's able to finish for 2.
Great look by McPhee. As soon as she got the ball, she had it down the floor. Capital Courts able to finish.
Great push there by Vaughan. A good look for Brown, but unable to convert. GOTW comes down with it, and Capital Courts' numbers. Ziba, the 3 in transition, and it's good. 40-18 lead here now for Capital Courts, a minute 40 remaining.
Quite a difference in scoring. Capital Courts has just exploded, and there's Vaughan with a 3 to kind of stem the bleeding, but Capital Courts has just exploded in terms of scoring in the second quarter.
It's going to be tipped out of bounds off on. It's going to be Capital Courts ball, and we have a timeout. Capital Courts here with 1:17. So after the 3 by Brown, it's a 40-21 lead for Capital Courts after this huge offensive explosion. 23 so far in the quarter to 5 for Vaughan.
Yes, it's quite a large differential, going from just being down 1 at the end of the first quarter to being down 19. Got to really, and I mean, talking about it, so Capital Courts getting opportunities in transition and ones, getting opportunities in the line, second chance opportunities that they've been converting, and then just they've had better ball movement and really clamped down defensively. They talked about that screen and roll. They know what they're doing. They're letting Vaughan have fewer second chance opportunities. Vaughan still has offensive rebounds, but fewer second chance opportunities. And then just really, like, as soon as they're securing that rebound, they're pushing. They're gone. They're putting pressure on.
Yeah, and there's some things on Vaughan that could easily clean up, just those hustle things. Getting back on defense, cleaning up the offensive glass for Capital Courts, as they've had numerous leak outs. Easy uncontested layups. They've had easy second chance points right from the doorstep. So just clean up those and you're cut away from many of the opportunities they're getting to build this big lead. And when you're down 19, you can't give up that if you're going to claw your way back in.
No, you just can't afford to. Any kind of those sloppy or mental errors, or just like lack of focus. Like, for example, nobody has McPhee. There's nobody, within 15 feet of McPhee on the 3-point line.
No harm, no foul, though, for Vaughan as she's unable to convert. They're able to tie up the rebound, so better job on the glass there. We will see if they can get it together on the defense end. Let's see if they can get some scores here, cut into the lead with a minute, try and get some momentum going into halftime. Here's Wahid Warren with the pass over the top, looking to attack. McPhee picks her up.
Screen and roll, do a great job getting over top. Jolie Kerr, good job coming around, and that's good defense. GOTW's there for the help. Jolie Kerr is denying the ball, so that's a really tough entry pass there.
Yeah, Vaughan's going to have to look for other options off the screen and roll. They've constantly looked for the roller or their self. Maybe if they go their self, look for other teammates on the wing. But right again, there's Jolie Kerr in the post, able to finish with the height advantage. 2 more for Capital Courts.
And she's been fairly consistent inside, Max, getting good looks and converting those good looks.
Capital Courts switching up the defense. They have a trap there, and then the recovery by Russell, able to tip away the pass for the steal. Capital Courts looking to push. Ziba up top for Russell. Her 3 from the top is no good. Wahid Warren comes down with it for Vaughan. Here's Brown. Gets right to the rim, and it's going to be blocked there by Ziba. 13 here on the game clock. It's going to remain Vaughan basketball.
I think that's great, though, Max. Haven't been having much luck from outside, so Brown's taking it hard to the rim. Gets blocked out of bounds, still Vaughan ball. No problem there.
Great cut there by Brown, getting right to the rim and able to finish for 2.
And then it results in 2 points, and they get, close to having a turnover there.
5 on the shot clock here. Russell at the top, guarded by Francis. Tipped away. Good defense there by Vaughan to end it. So, at the end of the second quarter, it is 42 Capital Courts, 23 Vaughan. All right, so coming out to start the third quarter, we do have a 19-point advantage here for Capital Courts over the hometown Vaughan Voyageurs. Bess, what are some of the keys to the second half for each team coming out to start the second half?
Capital Courts, I think, just needs to build on how they played in that second quarter. So continue to get the ball inside to Jolie Kerr, take advantage of those mismatches when possible, move the ball well offensively. And then the way that they've really tightened things up on defense has been good to see. For Vaughan, sort of an example right there at the beginning is just being more ready, paying attention, making sure that you're into the game so that Capital Courts doesn't get any easy opportunities, trying to tighten things up on defense, and then also converting opportunities on offense. They gave themselves a couple of really good second chances, just making sure that they are taking advantage of those.
Great. So we had a turnover there by Godet trying to find the mismatch with Russell on the block against a smaller defender. It's out of bounds, so Vaughan comes down with it. See how they start the second. It's going to be picked off by Zeba on the wing. It's going to go to a jump ball. It's going to remain Vaughan basketball.
Let's see if Vaughan can get Capital Courts moving on defense, get some good ball swings, attacks, and maybe generate some open looks or easy opportunities at the rim.
Here's Brown up top off the screen from Walters, able to get in the lane. Unable to convert, but Walters there fighting for the rebound. It's going to be tipped off of Jolie Kerr out of bounds. It's going to remain with Vaughan.
And that's some good action by Vaughan. They actually created something off that screen and roll opportunity, got a good screen, and Brown was able to get some good momentum going to the rim.
Hilton to inbounds, can't find anyone. Tries to kick it out to Francis. It's going to be tipped off of her and out of bounds. It's going to go back to Capital Courts.
And we just maybe expect to see a little bit more urgency from Vaughan. You know, in that instance, or defensively being down 19, really trying to fight to get back into it. So hopefully they can get that here.
Here we go. Francis pushing the other way in transition. Great defense there by Zeba to stay straight up, unable to finish over the big defender. Zeba comes right back the other way and is pushing for Capital Courts. They swing around. Here's an open look for Russell from the right wing. Too strong. Brown comes down with it for Vaughan.
And Russell doesn't convert, but I mean, even in that instance, I think we had a little bit of defensive miscommunication. Had some good swings and an open shot for Russell there from three. Again, not somebody that you want to give any open looks to.
It's going to be tight defense there by Russell. She's going to be called for the reach and foul before the steal on Wahid Warm. So it will remain with Vaughan here at half court, 14 on the shot clock. Little inbound miscommunication by Wahid Warman. Brown picked off by Capital Courts. They get Russell in transition. It's going to be fouled by Walter. She'll be at the line for two.
Good look by Zeba. Great athleticism by Russell. Again, there have been a lot of, and I mean, as we've seen in most games, there have been a lot of 50-50 plays, you know, some sloppy play. Capital Courts is just doing a great job capitalizing on those. Getting those 50-50 balls, making good passes, going up strong.
There's Vaughan bringing it up against Capital Courts. A good handoff to Wahid Warm. Gets in the key, though. Great defense by the back line. Jolie Kerr's able to tie her up. It's going to go off of Vaughan. Capital Courts ball. Travel there by Jolie Kerr in the corner before the pass. So will go back to Vaughan.
Had that not been in travel. Some good action by Capital Courts. Ball movement, good cutting, but it is Vaughan basketball right now.
Wahid Warm up top, guarded by Russell.
So when you can look here at Vaughan, so we've got 4 people standing on the perimeter and the ball going inside. There's just no movement, so that double team came. It was almost a turnover there. Sort of whoever has the ball is dribbling. Not a lot of team-related action happening.
Francis able to throw it up right before the shot clock and able to get to the go. Let's see if that gives a little momentum to Vaughan, see if that can get them moving on the offensive end.
Capital Court's running a little bit of screen and roll of their own, and Jolie Kerr again with that consistency, finishing inside. Great pass from Russell.
Here's Russell going for the steal on Wahid Warm in the full court. That will be her foul, so that's her third of the game. So with that foul, we do have Russell checking out along with Ziba, McPhee, and Newman to check in for Capital Courts.
And talking about playing smart as well as, giving her a maximum effort, Russell has her there. All she has to do is move her feet to keep in front. You don't need to get the basketball. That will happen when you apply ball pressure and force a bad pass, or one of your teammates jumps the lane. That's just picking up an extra foul and now forcing you to go to the bench.
This time, better movement by Vaughan. They swing around. Brown gets into the key, unable to finish the first attempt, but gets her offensive rebound and puts it right back in. So 2 more points for Vaughan. Few better possessions here to start the third.
Absolutely. That's really good to see. And they're getting back on defense.
And the pressure there caused Capital Courts to speed up a bit. Emerson runs off of Walters. It's going to be off her, out of bounds. It's going to go back to Vaughan. So a few good possessions here. They've got to string together a few more. That's how they're going to get back into this one.
Yes, absolutely. And now that they have, now that Capital Courts has this lead, Vaughan can't take any possessions off. You can't go basket for basket. They've really got to score and get stops.
And
here we go.
Right over the press, they get it to Brown streaking, for Vaughan. She's able to finish that layup for 2. 2 more points here for Vaughan. A nice little 7-0 run here.
And the lead is down to 16, and Vaughan with the steal.
That pass from Godet is picked off by Hilton. Here comes Vaughan. And the crowd getting into it here.
Absolutely a great crowd. Really supportive the entire game, so it's great to see.
Swing around. Brown's 3 is no good. Wahid Warm's able to come down with the rebound. No, it's going to be a foul on Capital Courts, so Vaughan retains. It's going to be 14 on the shot clock with the foul.
A momentum shift here. Still a 16-point lead for Capital Courts, but a really good push by Vaughan.
They get Walters a touch on the block. She hasn't been busy much lately, but she's able to finish for 2. That's someone that Vaughan wants to get going here in the second half.
Absolutely great finish by her inside, and look, another turnover here for Vaughan.
Tipped away by Walters from behind, and Hilton's off and running. Tied up there with a feed, it looks like, by McPhee, and now Capital Courts going right back the other way. Godet's able to get to the rim, but unable to convert that layup.
Not able to finish. All right, we've had a momentum shift here. Let's see if Capital Courts can get a stop right their ship.
Francis off the Walters screen, tries to drive baseline, cut off by Emerson. They swing all around the top. Here's Hilton, an open look from the baseline, just short. She looks like she's hurt on that shot attempt. She's down on the other end, so numbers here for Capital Courts. Let's see if they capitalize. Newman's shot's too strong. Francis comes down with it. We're going to tend to Hilton.
I think Hilton's injury comes from the possession before when she was pushing and went down to the ground. And now she's coming off the court. Coaching staff for Capital Courts just telling their troops to take a deep breath. And we saw this in the first quarter. They just got hurried. Weren't finishing, getting sloppy turnovers. So we'll see if they can just collectively calm down and get back on track. And Vaughan will be obviously looking to continue this run and to push.
Oh, sorry. So we just had a little shot clock malfunction there. Didn't start with the game clock, so we'll get that sorted out. It still will be Vaughan ball here. 6 minutes left in the third.
Come on, ladies, let's go.
So here's Brown up top. Walters to set the screen. Brown gets to her left hand. Walters working. Great kick out. Hall drives, and her floater's good. 2 more. Vaughan pouring it in here in the third.
And they're getting looks close to the basket and converting, whereas before they weren't getting that movement. Oh.
Great up fake by Jolie Kerr, able to get around Walters and finish with the long jumper. 2 more for Jolie Kerr.
So consistent this game, Max. Just doing her job, keeping her team on track.
The long jumper is a little bit off by Wahid Warren, but the fight for the offensive rebound, we're going to have a foul there on McPhee. It's going to remain Vaughan ball. We have Ziba here checking in for McPhee after that foul. They swing it around top. Walters calling for it in the post. looking to get a touch, but Francis goes right to the rim herself and able to finish with a little finger roll there over the defender.
So I think Vaughan's been 100% from the floor
Yeah.
in this third quarter. No, they've been shooting really well, finishing very well.
Bounced around off of two other Vaughan players. Wahid Warham comes up with it. Tied up by half, though. They're able to retain it. Here's Francis slowing it down up top. Walter sets a screen. Francis gets around the defenders, swings it up top. Wahid Warham, the deep three, and finishes over Jolie Kerr.
Right, Max. I think
We have a 9-point game here. Vaughan coming back with a huge run to start the third. Capital Quartz looks to answer. Zeba, three of her own, just off. Emerson's able to come down with the rebound, though. Get to the rim, no good. Walters comes down with it for Vaughan.
We'll see if Capital Quartz can dig in here, or if Vaughan is going to continue this impressive run in the third quarter. And Max, we talked a lot about those 50-50 balls. Generally, the team that controls that, the team that whose effort, whose effort turns into output on that, is going to be the one that is lucky. And I think we've seen a shift in that right now.
Francis, a quick trigger three, no good. Able to get the rebound, though, is Brown fighting for that.
I think it looks like it might be a shot clock violation here.
It's going to be called a shot clock as they don't believe the Francis shot hit the rim, so it will not be an offensive rebound by Brown. It's going to be shot clock violation going to Capital Quartz, and with that, we have a timeout, Capital Quartz. So with 4 minutes here remaining in the third, we're down to a 9-point lead. A big run by Vaughan.
Don't count them out.
Wow, wow, an exciting one here. Just when we thought it was going to get away from them, they chipped right back in, did the things you said, clamped down both on the defensive end, stopped Capital Quartz from getting those easy baskets, and then attacked, did some different movements on offense, got themselves some easy looks, and were able to convert now.
The offensive and defensive parts of the game are so intertwined, obviously. But when we see Vaughan getting shots to fall, it is much more difficult for Capital Quartz to push and get those easy transition opportunities. Much easier for Vaughan to pick up, to find their man, and to be able to make a stand defensively. When you're getting the defensive rebounds, it's much easier for you to get into your offense. You know, things start to flow. They feed off each other, and Vaughan has just been building from their success on both ends in this third quarter.
So we do have Vaughan coming on that similar zone pressure here. We do have Russell checking back in for Capital Quartz, so we'll see if she can help Capital Quartz stop this run for Vaughan. They get it in, they swing it around up top. Here's Newman looking to drive against Hall. Gets in the lane.
Interesting.
And it's going to be a call there. I believe that's going to be on Walters. Walters going to be called for the foul there. So it will be 2 shots for Newman at the line. That will be Walters' third foul. So both Walters and Russell, key members of their squads, here in foul trouble. 4 minutes left in the third.
I thought Walters did a good job getting over. Those calls are really difficult, and they, often they just come down to the discretion of the referee. But she put herself in a position to get that charge call. Just didn't go her way that time.
Newman off on both free throw attempts. Wahid Warham comes down with it for Vaughan. Big screen there by Walters up top.
Yep. And she's calling for the ball on the roll of the basket.
Hall looking to drive, though. Tied up there by Godet. Loose ball. Capital Quartz able to come up with it.
Don't know that there was possession, so they might have that shot clock violation, but I believe it was off Capital Quartz. See what the referees decide here.
So they're going to call it a full reset, as they're saying Godet had full possession on the ground, and it was a pass back to her teammates. So it's going to be Vaughan on the baseline with 24. A better job there by Vaughan, recognizing they couldn't get it in with the 5 seconds. They're going to throw it off the Russell as the defender. So we'll see if they can clean that up. They have had some problems inbounding here in the third.
They have, Max. Yes, definitely. Their out-of-bounds plays haven't been that successful.
Francis gets into the lane. She's going to be tied up there. She'll be fouled. And I believe they're saying she was going to the basket, so she'll get 2 shots.
Looks like she is lining up to shoot, yeah, and Vaughan continues to get good things happening when they're making it into the paint, when they're getting into the paint with their dribble or with the pass.
Yep, and that also was Godet's 3rd foul on that last attempt, so another person here in foul trouble in the 3rd.
To watch, yeah, very important component for Capital Courts. So Godet is along with Russell having 3 fouls.
Here's Francis stepping to the line for the 2nd attempt. Able to hit the 2nd.
Capital Courts here getting the ball in. Vaughn's swarming. They've got 3 players and they're going to get
Great
the jump
defense
ball.
there by Vaughan.
I think Steenbacher's maybe got to keep that high. She's got a lot of little people coming around, getting their hands in there as a big, trying to keep the ball up, avoid the tie-up.
And without Walters in there, Vaughan does have a smaller lineup now, so lots of quick hands is what they're going to have to use to guard those posts.
Yeah.
Active bodies, and Hamilton's able to come down with that rebound. Great hustle here by Vaughan. Loose ball everywhere. Gakul Jefferson, is able to come up with it. Capital Courts is calling for the 8-second violation, and they're able to get it. So a little bit of leniency there from lack of urgency,
Yes.
Leniency by themselves to get it over half. Lack of urgency. They didn't get it over. It took a lot of time. They're looking for that play where they inbound it right to the post up. That time is come from behind. Great defense by Francis. It's going to be tapped out. Still Capital Courts ball, though.
Absolutely good recognition there by Vaughan, and we talked about that focus. So they are demonstrating good focus on the out-of-bounds play, not letting that be converted into a scoring opportunity.
It's going to be a travel there by Newman. Just brought the 2nd foot down, so we'll go back to Vaughan. Definitely a better job with those mental errors. We did touch on it a bit. There were some sloppy mistakes, a few possessions in a row. They allowed leak-outs. They allowed many offensive chances. They've definitely cleaned that up here in the 2nd half and fought their way right back to only an 8-point deficit now.
Absolutely, and Max, look at the move. If we could just freeze, or not freeze frame, but compare shots of movement from Vaughan when they're on offense. It'd be night and day.
Yep, and then they came away with a steal there. Capital Courts. Russell pushed in transition, unable to get it, but pass over to Ziba, and she finishes for 2 more.
Finishes with a good left hand, takes her time in the paint, extends the lead back to 10.
Great defense here by Ziba on Francis, extending the D now. Vaughan swings around.
And I think as Capital Courts just put that pressure on Francis right now. We're coming to the end of the 3rd quarter. I don't think she's had a break all game, been going both ends of the floor. So trying to turn her over and put the pressure on the ball handler there.
Deep 3 by Wahid Warren was no good over Russell. Her long 2 in transition was no good. A quick step back by Ziba and the big bank, and it's going to go. Might not have been the shot Capital Courts wanted, but able to get it to go. They all count.
They do, yeah. I was going to say that's a bit unlucky by Vaughan. There's good defense, good defensive pressure, but sometimes those just go.
Oh, great pass there by Wahid Warren, but a little miscommunication with Hamilton, unable to handle the pass. It's going to go off of her over to Capital Courts.
Yeah, it's a good look. Good pass, just not able to be converted into a basket there. We'll see if Vaughan can get the stop here, as Capital Courts has made a little bit of a run of their own.
As Emerson skips it over to Russell on the left wing this time, looking to move on Francis. Good defense, though, on the ball. Russell gets right into the lane, though, unable to hit the floater. Ball comes down to Francis, and she's coming back the other way for Vaughan.
Gets right into the lane as she does, Max.
Francis unable to hit that. Great defense there by McPhee. We have an injury here on Vaughan, so we're going to stop the play. We're going to let the coaches of Vaughan take care of that as both teams convene here. So we have 42 seconds here in the third. We have a 13-point lead for Capital Courts, a 53-40 advantage. We'll see how Vaughan can continue to cut back in, or if Capital Courts can keep it easy here, maintain their lead going into the fourth.
And I think you put yourself in a good position hovering around that 10-point mark
Yep.
and into the fourth, not too far. You haven't put yourself in a position where you can't come back or you can't recover. So Vaughan can just kind of hold the fort here, maybe get a score and a stop, or a stop and a score, you know, whichever way that works. Then they're looking good going into the fourth quarter.
So again, Vaughan going with a smaller lineup with Walter still sitting with those 3 fouls. We will see if Capital Courts can use this side advantage, and it's going to be
Speaking of fouls,
Russell with the push off there trying to get the inbounds. That's going to be her 4th foul late here in the third. So a key moment to watch for Capital Courts.
and we'll get a quick sub. Godet will come in for Russell.
Godet, another person who's going to have to watch it this last minute of the third, as she definitely is another one who doesn't want to pick up for her 4th foul. 4th foul.
4th foul. Got it.
Number 4. Here Wahid Warham driving right at her. Great defense as she's able to miss the shot there. Ziba pushing the other way. Jakul.
And good
Jefferson tried to tie
recognition
her.
there by Vaughan going right at Godet.
Godet gets to her right hand, unable to finish there. Here comes Vaughan, 14 left in the quarter. Francis pushing, gets to her left hand. Just no finish. The fight for the offensive rebound, though.
5 seconds
Capital
left.
Courts, 2, 1. Oh, off 1 foot. Godet's going to be called for the travel as time expires. So, at the end of 3, we have Capital Courts 53, Vaughan Voyageurs 40. Seven and 17. All right, so after a 17-11 quarter win here by Vaughan, we'll see how Vaughan looks to attack here early in the fourth. They have Walters back out there. Let's see if they use her.
They get to that screen and roll early. Francis with the long 3, the deep 3 can't hit. Vaughan parents, I believe, wanted a travel there.
They get
Quite
over the
emphatically.
top to Godet. Her shot was no good. Jolie Kerr was able to clean up the miss, but it's going to be fouled before her shot attempt, I believe. So it'll be Capital Courts ball on the baseline.
Godet driving middle. Gets the pass out to Jolie Kerr.
Her
She'll
3.
try the true 3.
A little bit off. Vaughan comes down with it. This is a time when last time Russell was off when Vaughan did make their big run.
Right.
So let's see if they can try and take advantage again and cut back in. Here's Hall, the 3 this time. It's no good. Fighting for the rebound, Walters and Ziba. Ziba comes up with it, but her pass is picked off by Brown. Oh, things are getting a little chippy there in the post. Walters and Jolie Kerr fighting for position.
And Walters will have to be careful. Don't want to pick up your 4th foul on something
No.
Just sort of a individual struggle, or like a little beef inside.
Francis's three again is no good. Wahid Warren fights for the board. She kicks out. Emerson comes down with it, goes right the other way, gets in the key. She's going to be fouled by Francis. She'll go to the line for 2.
And just on that note, I think it's super important to let your team play override any kind of personal struggles that you're having with any individual players on the opposing team. Just keeping a cool head, especially when your team has fought so hard to get back into this game. And I'm sure that Walters will do that.
Emerson able to hit the first. Vaughan also has taken, I think, 3 now, deep threes to start the quarter. Haven't gotten one to fall yet. We'll see if they try and get it into Walters, try and take advantage of her skill set down on the block, get some easy looks there, and see if they can take advantage there on the offensive end.
Looks like we have another stoppage of play for injury.
A little, I believe, a poke to the eye. So we're going to have Zeba checking out with that, and it's going to remain with Vaughan.
And that really hurts. And we have had a bunch of tie-ups. We have noted that both teams are going after the ball aggressively, and that's just something the refs have to keep a lookout for, because it's very easily to get poked or get inadvertently hit in the face when that kind of thing's happening. So just keeping those hands out, cleaning it up.
They did try and find Walters there in the post. The pass was a little bit too high. Capital Courts come down with it. There's Vaughan, Capital Courts pushing then after the steal. They get to Steenbackers in the post, but Walters is able to steal that right away. They're looking for Walters again. Great double team with Emerson on the back. They're able to tip it away. Capital Courts comes down.
Great that they're looking to get the ball back into the post, but it's just about having bigger vision than just your post player. So seeing what's around her. In that case, there's a double coming from the back, so somebody else is open. It's not only looking at the player that you're passing it to, but who's around her.
Hall is tied up there on the attempt. It's going to be blocked away. Capital Courts comes down with it, and Capital Courts coach is telling them to slow down and run through their offense. We're getting into a track meet here. They want to slow it down.
A little bit sloppy here as we start the fourth quarter.
O'Day gets into the lane. It's going to be tipped off of her and out of bounds, so it's going to go back to Vaughan. Here's Wahid Warren to inbound. Brown able to break through the pressure defense. It's Francis on the wing.
Angelique Kerr is really fighting there to stay around. Walters not let the ball come in.
Francis, another 3 attempt. This one's short. It's going to go out of bounds and over to Capital Courts. So great defense by Capital Courts, not allowing anything inside, forcing them to take those outside jumpers.
Yeah, absolutely, Max. And you mentioned that it's just been outside jumper after outside jumper. And I think we've got some tired legs from Francis there on the 3 that is short.
Good job by Capital Courts, able to break through the presser. Zeba gets right in the lanes, able to finish her floater for 2.
Pressure by Capital Courts. They're continuing to apply pressure. Oh, dribbling right into Coffin Corner, and usually nothing good happens when you go there.
Yeah, it looked like Brown was looking for a foul call, but it was going to be bumped and then off of her out of bounds, so it will go over to Capital Courts.
And that's really tough, especially when you know you're dribbling into that double team. Very difficult. You can't go behind you, and Brown has 2 players who are taller than her. They're going to be guarding. So the turnover did happen and after she put herself in that difficult position.
So with 7 minutes here in the fourth, we do have a 17-point lead, Capital Courts. Vaughan timeout. Got to change something up. What do you think they do, Bess, coming out here?
They know what was working, and they were trying to get back to that, but it was a little bit too much forcing the ball inside to Walters. So if they can try and get those inside looks off of good movement, good ball movement, good attacks to the rim, that can generate some chances, because right now those outside looks aren't falling for them, so they've got to get something different. And I know it's in the fourth quarter really tired. We've had a lot of girls playing a lot of minutes, but continuing to get after those offensive rebounds. So that's not something we've talked about in the fourth quarter, right? Have been offensive rebounding as much. So just continuing to put pressure on the defense that way. And then being smart offensively as well. Not rushing, not getting those sloppy turnovers, because now Capital Courts have sort of reestablished themselves a little bit, coming into 17-point lead, getting 4 points in this quarter. So Vaughan's got to shift it. Got to stop here, good look on offense, and then go from there. One play at a time.
Yep. So they inbound. Jolie Kerr, here's Newman on the block. Here's Godet, the open wing three, and it's good. Big three there for Capital Courts, pushing the lead to 20.
Great look. Good finish. Good there. That's a good
Great
pass
job by
inside.
Vaughan.
Yeah, help by Godet is a little bit late, and once Walters has that ball with her size, I think she's good to make that.
They do a much better job getting the ball there quicker before the help could get there, and they come away with the steal at the other end. The pass, though, just a bit behind Brown, and she's unable to corral it, so we'll go back to Capital Courts. Active, though, on the defensive end, able to force the steal with the press, so
They're
good
fighting,
two
Max.
possessions.
They're fighting. They're not going to give up.
what we
Still
love.
6.5 to go here.
Extending the defense a little bit further here by Vaughan. Godet's able to handle it pretty well. We do have Russell checking back in here. And that's going to be a foul on Walters, bumping Godet on the cut through, so that will be her fourth.
Capital Courts was just running some wheel action off Jolie Kerr there at the top, staying on the foul line, and got that foul call.
They get it up top to Russell, who finds Jolie Kerr on the block. She's going to be tied up there by Aruda. Great defense there by Vaughan. Jump ball is going to stay with Capital Courts.
Yes, good recognition. Jolie Kerr has been deadly inside, so really getting to her early. It's great defense by Vaughan.
They get up top. Here's Emerson's three, just a bit off. Aruda's able to clean up the glass for Vaughan.
Francis controlling here as she does. We'll see if Vaughan can get into something offensively.
Here's Wahid Warham's pass is tipped out of bounds by Russell, so it's going to remain with Vaughan. Oh, miscommunication there by Capital Courts. They leave Brown open in the corner. Her shot's no good, though. It's going to be tipped off by Aruda. It's going to go over to Capital Courts.
And McPhee in the game for Emerson. Godet with the ball in the wing, again running off. Jolie Kerr at the foul line. Good look inside to Russell. Excellent move.
Great job finding that size mismatch down low, and Russell able to finish two more for her.
Yeah, and Capital Courts gets that play off. Good movement.
Great
Great
job
play
by
Russell.
Francis here to get into the key, finding an open player in Hamilton who's going to be fouled on the shot by McPhee. She'll go to the line for two.
And this will be important for Vaughan. So down 20 at this point, 5.5 minutes left. Stopping the clock, getting some points on the board. You know, Max, we talked about the fight of both teams as Hamilton makes her first. It's just, it's really amazing to see this level of basketball at the high school level in Ontario, and also see so many girls participating at such a high level. We know that girls continue to stop playing sports at a much higher rate than boys when they enter their teenage years. And so to have this opportunity for this league, as well as the community opportunities available for girls to continue to participate in sport is so important. I mean, look at these young women as real role models here for the girls underneath them and the girls coming up.
And we also want to shout out CAO, Coaching Association of Ontario, has their hashtag She Can Coach campaign on right now. We do have many female coaches here in the OSBA, so we want to shout out to all of those female coaches and all the female coaches across Ontario. Hashtag she can coach.
She can for sure, Max, and absolutely, that's a huge part of it is women staying involved in the game. We have a female referee for this game. We have female coaching staff. So important. Just keeping that love of the game alive, keeping that involvement.
Yeah, all the opportunities are out there. We'd love to have more involved. So check out the campaign.
It's a good one. Yeah. No, it is a good one. But actually, they paired a number of sort of more rookie coaches with mentors.
Yep.
Got some great experience, able to set some goals, get some training. So really, really positive program for coaching in Ontario.
Great. And with that, we did have Brown's shot was a little bit off the mark. It's going to go off bounce, off Aruda, fighting for the offensive rebound. So it's going to go to Capital Courts.
Ziba here with the ball on the wing, passing, good ball movement. Jolie Kerr at the top, unfortunately gets the travel. And that's sometimes a difficulty for big players, Max, is to remember when you're up, putting the ball on the floor before you're moving your pivot foot. When you're at the top of the key. So ball is going to go to Vaughan here. Francis controls, guarded closely by Ziba. Some good movement there by Vaughan and a great shot in the corner.
Hamilton able to finish for two more. She's putting it in here in this quarter. Pass a little bit behind Ziba. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go back to Vaughan.
Good score, quick turnover.
Oh, we just have a little miscommunication with the refs. We're going to clean up that foul mistake as the ref reported the wrong number, so we got that cleaned up. So all fouls are correct now.
Guard to guard.
Here's Brown on the wing. Francis up top. Good defense by Steenbackers, and she's able to clean up that with a steal of her own. Finds McPhee. Here's Jolie Kerr, another three-point attempt. This one's too strong, but McPhee a great offensive rebound. Tries to find Jolie Kerr cutting to the basket, unable to go, and Vaughan comes down the other way.
Ladies, we don't need that.
Deep three by Francis here. It's short. It's going to bounce out of bounds. It's going to go over to Capital Courts.
We don't need that. Not again, okay? Come on.
And Capital Courts here in the fourth quarter with their lead. They can afford to take the time and get the best possible shot opportunity, so still continue to have good movement, but they don't need quick shots right now. Just need good ones. Capital Courts here with the inbound. Francis up, making sure that Russell doesn't get the ball back. Follows with Emerson at the top. Into Russell. Jolie Kerr.
Oh, able to hit again from the baseline. 2 more points. Jolie Kerr.
That model of consistency, and that is a good look for her. As opposed to the last shot that she took from the three-point line, a little bit forced. She's in that 15-foot range, super comfortable, able to knock it down.
And it's going to be called for stepping out of bounds there by Hamilton, so it's going to go back to Capital Courts. Walters and Wahid Warren both checking back in for Vaughan. 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Going to be a foul there on Francis, tying up Russell at midcourt. It's going to remain Capital Courts ball.
And that's Russell's speed there, making that defense difficult for Francis. Jolie Kerr with the ball at the top. Pass it and screen to Russell.
Russell gets right into the lane. Floater's too strong. Vaughan comes down with it. Francis puts great defense there by Newman. Unable to convert for Francis. It's going to go out of bounds over to Capital Courts.
That is great defense by Newman. There's a no call there by the ref. In that block charge situation, no call. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's Capital Courts. Great look inside by Russell, the Steenbacher. She gets her own rebound, can't convert, still fighting for it. Capitol Courts
Newman's able to
secures
come
it.
up with that one. They have 8 on the shot clock. Here's Russell, going to work from the top. Gets into the key, finds Emerson open on the wing. Her 3 just off. Newman fights for the rebound, tips it to Russell, who's going to go to line for 2 on the foul.
Russell just creates so many problems with that quickness from the top. When she's at the top of the key, driving left, draws the extra defender, is able to kick it out for the open shot, and then she's crashing for that offensive rebound. Gets the opportunity, shooting 2 from the line.
Able to hit the first. Missed the second, but cleans up her own miss. Gets right in the key, and is going to be called for the charge there. Great defense by Wahid Warham. And that is going to be Russell's 5th, so she'll check out of the game along with Emerson for Capitol Courts.
With 2 minutes left in the game, you have your top scorer getting after the rebound, going up strong for the putback, and I'll take it.
We do have a timeout, Vaughan, here. So with 1:59 left, 18-point lead, Capitol Courts. See if Vaughan can chip back away. 18's a lot in 2 minutes.
I was going to say 18 is a lot of points.
But
you never know, but I think the key for both teams, and we'll see who can do this, is just to finish the game on a positive note.
Yep.
So if you're Vaughan, you want to make sure that you're focused, you're getting stops defensively, and you're also creating good offensive opportunities. And then I think for Capitol Courts, is just cleaning up some of the stuff that we've been talking about. They have got into those ruts where it just gets sloppy. They're rushing everything. So just trying to make sure that the last 2 minutes they're playing solid team defense, securing those defensive rebounds, and then continuing as they've been doing, driving, kicking, hitting the open player, and putting people in positions where they can be successful.
Great.
Whether that's Shirley Kerr at the rim,
Yeah, go day driving to the basket. It's also a time where they can try some new things. Russell is out. Maybe it's a time they can test out some of their offense that they will use, as she will need to be out in some of their games in the future. So it's a good chance for some of the other players to get a shot here.
Yeah.
Get them some confidence moving forward, which will be effective for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Here's Vaughan to inbound. Brown finds Wahid Warham. Dribbling up top. Ziba comes to help. Francis to Hamilton. Dump off to Walters. Francis another 3. This time it's good from the left wing.
It's good in there. I mean, it's a 3-man game on that side of the floor, but it creates a good opportunity for Francis, and that's one. Her other opportunities have been guarded, maybe a little bit too far back, so she gets a really good look there.
And Newman's pass is picked off there by Wahid Warham. Ziba's going to be called for the foul, stopping the Wahid Warham transition. It's going to be Vaughan ball on the baseline.
And we talked about Vaughan not having won a game yet this season, and their close loss that they had in the last game that they played. They're showing really good things in this game, really good things that they can build on. I think it's just a lot surrounding around that consistency, their teamwork.
Wahid Warham there tied up right in front of us and trying to avoid the over and back, passes the ball away. It's going to be stolen by Capitol Courts, going the other way, and Godet finishes for 2.
The lead is back to 17. Good movement there.
Swing around the top. Brown Walters along 2 this time, just a bit too strong. Fight for the board is going to be tipped out of bounds by Hamilton. It's going to go back to Capitol Courts.
I've always found boxing out rebounding to be a little bit simple. You just put your body on somebody and then you go after the ball. It's we haven't seen that consistently in this game, as Vaughan almost secured that last rebound just by chance. Capitol Courts went out of bounds, and it's going to be Capitol Courts ball. But it's something too. I think there's a bunch of different parts of the game that are pretty much just a matter of focus and effort, and rebounding is definitely one of those that both teams could be more consistent on and work on. So we're almost done here. 1:15 left in the 4th quarter. We have a 67-50 lead, Capitol Courts over Vaughan.
All right, so both teams have the same lineups coming out here for the final minute 15.
Capital Courts to inbound. Godet has the ball.
Godet, and we have Ziba up top. Oh, fight for the ball between Newman and Wahid Warham, and we're going to get the foul called there on Wahid Warham, so Newman will go to the line for 2.
And Max, we talked about the quality of players in the league and also the great opportunity afforded to them to play at this high level in high school basketball. This is something the Ontario Scholastic Basketball Association has provided for the province, and it's so great to see. You have teams on the men's side, the women's side in the second season, seeing growth, and it's just really, really amazing the platform that has been given to these young athletes through this league. The opportunities afforded them for them to stay at home, not having to go to the States to get that exposure or that level of competition. So it's really exciting for basketball in the province.
And something to note, these are 2 of our newer teams this year, so it's great to see both the success and these new players get into the system, get this experience that they would not have last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even this live broadcast that we have the opportunity, the distinct privilege, I might say, to be a part of, that's something where, being on YouTube, having your games out there, getting that kind of exposure for women's basketball, it's just so important. The WNBA started streaming those games on Twitter, reaching a larger audience. It's just a similar notion. If people see the game, see how good these girls are, they're going to want to come. They're going to want to support this because it's something important.
And we love having you tune in, so tell your friends. We love our viewers here at the OSBA TV. Oh, and a big block there by Emerson.
Absolutely. Last 33 seconds of the game here. 19-point Capital Courts lead. Some good takeaways for both teams, but also some good learnings moving forward.
See it, talk to each other, ladies. Good job.
Inbound, here's Walters, the long 2, and it rattles in for Vaughan.
She's got it, and Vaughan's not giving up. I mean, gamble there, but still fighting, and they will fight until the end of this one.
See the skip pass over to Godet.
Versing the ball, screen at the top of the foul line. A little short from Godet. It'll be Vaughan ball.
Francis bringing it up. Final 3 seconds here by Vaughan.
It'll be out of downs, and that will be the end of the game. Final score, Capital Courts 69.
Vaughan 52. So leading scorers for Vaughan Prep, we have Brown with 14, Francis with 11, and Wahid Warham and Walters both with 10. For Capital Courts, Jolie Kerr with 15. Oh, sorry, Ziba with 16, Jolie Kerr with 15, Russell with 14, and Godet with 11.
So when we're talking about Vaughan, 4 players finishing in double digits, that's definitely something to build on moving forward. And for Capital Courts, really strong second, third, and fourth quarter, and just a lot of things that they can build on. Great ball movement, taking it hard to the rim, getting open shots, and just then really working on that. I think some of the things to work on, working on that defensive consistency and also slowing down offensively, not getting ahead of themselves.
Great, so it was a great day here in Vaughan. Lovely Friday night. We loved having you, and we'll be here not next week, but the week after for our next broadcast. It's February 13th, a big matchup between Durham Elite and Lincoln Prep. Hope you tune in.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. We love girls basketball, and have a wonderful weekend.
Farewell, everyone.